Good?
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to swap out the base on a rolling Jackass center stand. First, you need to disconnect the spring. I like to use a medium-sized pair of vice grips. Make sure they're going to grab on pretty tight because it's a strong spring. I find that this is the easiest place to get a grip. Right there. And then I like to brace the leg against my leg and pull, pop it off the end of the bolt, just like that. Take those off. Now you need to remove the pivot here. This is a 3/8 bolt, so it uses a 9/16 socket. If you only have metric tools, you can use a 14mm. It's close enough to 9/16. You can use a wrench, ratchet. I happen to have a nice impact gun, so I'm going to do it real quick with this. Out it comes, pulled apart. You're probably going to have a little bit of grease smear on the ends of these, so I like to give those a quick wipe. Now it's all apart. And then this is how to reinstall it. I'm just going to use the same one, but to put it back together, it's just the opposite. Slip it together, stick your bolt through, jiggle it a little to get it to line up, get it started there. And at this point, I'm going to switch to my handheld ratchet so I get a little more feel for it. This is, the base itself has a through hole on this side and a threaded hole on this side, and then we put our lock nut outside of that. So adjusting the tension on this is like adjusting any bicycle part where you rely on a threaded thing to set your bearing preload and then a lock nut to lock it in place. So it's like doing a loose ball bearing bottom bracket or a hub or a threaded headset. So let's get this straightened down. Okay, so now I've got it too tight. This won't move at all, but that's okay because that's going to keep the bolt stuck in place while I get the lock nut started. Get that on there and just start to snug it up, just barely. Now, I'm going to do this kind of iterative process of going back and forth between the bolt and the nut in order to kind of creep up on the perfect adjustment and the tightened lock nut at the same time, same as I would do with a hub. So, I'm gonna back this off a little bit because I know it's too tight right now. Check it, still too tight. There we go. Now it's moving, but it's still too tight. There's some resistance there. So at this point, I'm going to get my lock nut a little closer to what I want my final tension to be and brace it against my leg. So I can push. And actually that got us just right, just that amount. Got us good. We're tight there. I don't even have to go back and adjust the bolt. Now I've got totally free movement here, and no, or almost, maybe a tiny bit of play there, almost nothing. Last thing to do is to reconnect the spring, again with the vice grips. Make sure you got a nice tight grip on it there. Brace against your leg, pull it over the end. There it is. Watch your fingers, because when they're put together like this, they're pretty snappy. That's it.